So hi guys again. So I spent an hour watching old videos, going over them, and so finally I'm here, and I'm gonna make the sequence of following video about how the mind works. Right. See, this has puzzled scientists since the dawn of life. And I can understand it for most scientists, or all scientists in the past, I think. No, for most scientists, not to be able to understand how the mind works. See, for me it's fairly, simple. Now you guys are like thinking, this dude's fucking crazy, man. He's like going yapping up like a fucking hopo, talking about he fucking knows how the mind works. This dude is totally out of his knuckles, man. So okay, I mean I find that funny, man. But remember, you can believe anything you want. You wouldn't have to take me serious, or you don't even have to listen to this video or anything. But I just want to let you guys know that I've given this a lot of thought, and I came from all angles, and I put on videos before that should explain the big things in this video. So if you puzzle these videos together, you would understand, right? So let's go. How does the brain work? And I find it so funny when I'm researching this, buying books, going to libraries, reading studies on the internet, and like talking to doctors, especially head doctors. Nobody has a fucking clue. Not at least they're willing to tell. So I do like in all my researches. I look for scientific facts. And I've already told you how I spent my time. So I try to puzzle it together with what we know. And this is my findings, conclusion, or whatever you like to call it. So, okay, just one thing. When you think that the dude's crazy, just go like, and if you think he's right, you go like, and if you think it's totally awesome, you go like, and if you think it's negative, you go like. So, okay. Okay, let's go. First things first. The brain involves from sperm and egg, and the sperm and the egg combine, and in female cases they produce a YY combination of DNA, and in male combination they produce XY combination. Now in this DNA there's a program, and this program, it considers of how the brain is built. Now what we know as a scientific fact is the brain is watery and it's mushy, and we know it holds electricity. Now we've studied the brain more than that, and we found that the smallest cells which carry electricity are like cells that like can spark. So right, we know the brain holds certain sections, and we know that one of these sections is the Abdullah Magnala. Thank you, Ben Stiller, I think. And that's like in the back, and it holds like the center. So we know the brain is like watery, mushy, and carries electricity through the smallest like what do you call them? Cells, right? So from birth, the brain builds, and not going into children's brains, we go with human brains. A fully grown human brain considers of the amygdala and the big part. So the DNA chain programs the amygdala like a receiver, and everything out there is the sender. It's the information. So when we create memories, these cells I talked about, they hold like waves, and we can magnify these waves to electricity, so it sparks up. So we have probably around 1 million sparks every second. I don't know how many frames per second, and this electricity keeps us going. Now the amygdala holds the program of which we study, like movement and like heart rate, like the breathing, like the hearing, the eyesight, the smell, the taste, the feeling. That's the receiver. So what we do from beginning is we learn, we create memories in the big brain that we are able to magnify. And these memories are in, what do you call it, being can you say primal? It's like we magnify these movements and like feelings and these, because we learn and we create memories. So you all know how big life is. The life is huge, and I would say the average thought span is 60,000 thoughts per day, and around 18 billion thoughts in a life, 36 billion thoughts in a lifetime. So alright, you have the amygdala, and this is constructed by the DNA and holds the programming to us, the receiver, and what we sense is the sender. So the amygdala is programmed, the heartbeat, the breathing, the feeling, all this stuff, and I'm not actually sure now if it's kept in the back or in the front. But then we experience life in memories and go through life, and these memories are built on up in the brain, and we can magnify them by, as doctors call, living in the past and remember, or we can live in the future, as doctors say, and we can connect dots, create new thoughts, or we can live in the present and like think of our senses. Now, I bet some of you are confused now. Okay, so the DNA chain, it programs the amygdala, and that's our primal self. It's like how we are born, and everything, including life, gives us memories, and we are able to remember these memories because they're recorded in these cells as waves, and we can magnify these waves to create an electrical currents which we are able to feel. Now, as doctors say, it's always good to live in the present. It's the best way to live. But as humans, we gotta travel to the past and we gotta travel to the future. See, a healthy person knows how to do this. A mentally ill person, it struggles with it. So you have 60,000 thoughts a day, and 95% of them is the thoughts you had before the day before. So you have 5% each day, and by going through life, you have to like build on your healthiness and your life, and so it's constant work in doing healthy stuff. And if you fall back, suffer from mental illness, or have a trauma, or like do drugs or something that screws up your life, you're gonna have to spend a long time working on yourself. And that's simple. It's just staying positive and doing positive things. And there are lots of people out there that are willing to help you do that, because people enjoy happiness and sharing happiness together. Right, so this video isn't actually longer than this, but I'm gonna keep on talking for a little bit longer. Now, this is a complex matter for many people, because mental illness is so far behind, it's not even funny. It's like we live in the cave world. See, what doctors and people who think about this confuse are digging into memories. And what doctors try to do is like not being able to tell the person how to do it. They just try to have like a positive surrounding and try to have the person positive. And they do this with medication and that's and like therapy. So the biggest thing isn't really the memories. It's helping people to communicate with other life forms in a healthy way. Like, in a healthy way means no violence, no mental or physical violence. It's that simple. And helping people do this, no matter how their lifespan are, is the most important thing. And every healthy person knows this, that this is the greatest gift they have, if they're able to go live in the present and be happy. So, okay, let's recap. Go over it one more time. And I'll go a little bit into memories later on. But the DNA change programs the Abdullah Magala to our senses, so we can receive. So we have the receiver and the sender is coming to us. We learn how to act, or like we learn how to talk, we learn how to move, we learn how to smell, we learn how to feel, we learn how to smell, see, we learn how to taste, hear, and this is all part of the Abdullah Magala. So when we're born, we have like almost no memories, and we go through life and we always learn something. I call it learning because we're creating memories. And the big part of the brain, that's the part where the memory is held through its cells, which we can magnify. Now, memories, you have to think of in waves, and you have to think of them as like infinity. Even though I don't think infinity exists anywhere except in the mind. Like infinity is like the number 1. Because if you look at it, there isn't, I can't find infinity anywhere. In space, earth, anywhere. There's always like a set number. So infinity is just an expression. Yeah. So you have to think of memories as infinity, but they're so because there are so many, but they have limitations. They have like a beginning and an end, and you could put a number to it, which, yeah, that will be studied later on. So the human mind is capable, and remember, we're going to think this is in as in waves. The human mind is capable from, like, if we take for example this small of a wave, which is this wide, and it's capable of thinking of this big of a wave, which is this wide, and everything in between. So for somebody to go digging memories, you have to be very, very careful, because it's almost virtually impossible to exactly know what the person is thinking. So you can't assume something because it tells you memories. And memories, these waves, hold like so much information. A single wave can tell you all from who was around him, what he was thinking, to his senses. And so memories make every person on a planet unique. So boy, it's just a hard chapter. See, I've already told you that I live life, and life is so big. It's so big, it's from that smallest wave to this biggest wave. So I just live life and share love. And when I get time alone, I do something like look at things that aren't alive, to fill myself up with memories and happiness, and it gives me fulfillment. So that's why I treat every single life form the same. And my senses are heightened. I am I'm a primal age. I'm 30. This is the age where the entire body has grown into full maturity. I'm in the good weight. I eat healthy. I exercise. I have healthy relationships with people and life, and I spend my time doing healthy stuff. See, the worst, I call it poison of the mind, is violence. See, violence creates waves as memories, and 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 you don't really know how to react to it, because they're so it's not how God built us. God didn't build us to show violence. We have like power, and we have like chemicals that make us stronger, faster, and heightened. But these are self-defense tactics, powers. They aren't used for anything else, not in God's creation. Because if I sit here and I would like go in and spray these three chemicals into my body, I would just get confused. I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm in no danger. I mean, so love can do a hell of a lot for every living thing, and I treat every living thing the same. If I'm secure, I just leave. If I'm not, and where I live in Iceland, there aren't much dangers here. I mean, this is such a peaceful place that even though some badass think he's a badass, I mean, you just take a shortcut from him, and like, I mean, and here in Iceland you truly can experience good life in society. I mean, being able to walk freely anywhere, not be afraid. I mean, that's just, and for me, being Caucasian, being male, being healthy, and being in my prime, I mean, this is an amazing and wonderful experience, and this has given me so much, because a fear, which is a distinct pattern, is actually a very it's a very non-good thing. So we were talking about violence, which I think is the most poison of the mind, but because it creates memories which are hard to work through. I've experienced violence, physical or mental violence, and a lot actually, but I just grew in myself, and my self-confidence became more and more every day, and I just took every day, and I found it so peaceful, because I got such a good upbringing that my mind never wandered off to applying violence to others. It's one of the greatest gifts I got in my life, is like not wanting to apply violence to other living things. I mean, I'm human and I made mistakes, but generally, as I probably think most of you have this beautiful gift in life. So the biggest poison is violence. If you afflict it, or if you or inflicted it, and so to live a happy life, you should really focus here on not experiencing it. Though we can't tell what time We can't tell the future. Now, the biggest block which I find in life is prejudice. And it's for me, it's like when I'm around prejudiced people, I find it so frustrating because I feel like I'm not able to think freely. And I mean, for me it sucks. I mean, I love life and I love to experience life and be in a position where I can't live life to the extent it's so frustrating. It is, and I'm gonna do a video about paradise. So I hope and pray every day that I'm able to live life to the fullest. And I know I'm one of the top, like 2 or 4% of humankind which is able to live like with food, shelter, and like good government and stuff like that. So the biggest block in my mind is prejudice. So I think I covered everything. Like we covered the DNA, that whole the information how the Abdullah Magala is created, and there's the information about your senses and movement and your bodily function, and the rest of the brain holds it holds memories which are created 60,000 a day and have a lifespan of 36 billion, and that it's magnifies these cells, and it fills new cells up with waves of new memories. So I actually, when I was thinking about this, I gave it some thought that how the vision works. I don't know all the medical terms, but I think I figured it out. See, when sun shines light, it travels on light speed to Earth, and it hits the atmosphere. Now, I think there's like 3 or 8 different waves which the sun sends us, and some of them are left behind in the atmosphere. Other ones hit everything which can be hit, and these are straight waves. So let's, for example, it hits this light, and the wave from sun hits it. Now some of the waves go into the lighter, but other waves, they bounce off it. Now the waves that bounce off it go through the eye, and the eye turns it around, because actually we're standing upside down on the earth. We're like hanging from a tree, and like so it flips it around and sends it to the nerves in the back of the mind, at the back of the eye. Now these nerves can sense the light beams, and there come different light beams from everywhere. So all of the light beams sent to the eye, which flips it around, hits the nerves sense it like the receiver, sends it to the brain into when we create the memory, and we magnify it with electricity, and we are able to sense it inside our brain, like one of the functions which the brain and the human body can do. The same goes with every your sense. It's the same with smell. We have nerve receivers in the nose which can distinguish certain chemical compounds, and the nerve receiver send information to the brain, and the brain magnifies it, and we sense the smell. Same with hearing. We know that are waves, and we know the three bones vibrate, and when they vibrate, they send like waves through communication lines to the brain, which we magnify and sense. And the same with feeling. I mean, these are just nerves which recognize, like this receiver that recognize the sense, and it sends it to the brain and magnifies. Now, this is actually what I think of. I really don't know much more. There have been some study that certain part of the brain handles different things, but we experience the whole brain at the same time when we magnify it, and we can see it when like in Alzheimer's people, when part of the brains die, some of it just goes away. Like if somebody loses half a brain, it's like some of the memories are lost and some of the senses go weak or disappear. And like, yeah, so, but remember, the brain, we aren't using the brain to its full capacity. I believe that the brain can hold as much as 200 billion memories. It's like in a car, when the motor dies, I mean, the steering wheel could be used for centuries more. I mean, the brain just is a part of your body that lives longer. So for all of you out there who is giving this some thought, how the brain works, I really hope that this helped you, and I really hope that you guys try to be happy. I mean, how can I explain life and memories? There are so many of them, and for a single being like me, I just cling on to God when I'm confused about life, because I think that God is the oldest and wisest one, and I always try to be happy, and I always try to treat others like I want to be treated, and I always don't use violence. It's like, and prejudice, I mean, Shit. Why would you fill your mind up with prejudice? It's like you wanted to bake a cake, but you don't have flour. I mean, what kind of cake if you're gonna bake like 100 different cakes? I mean, prejudice, as everybody knows, is just lack of knowledge. And for me to apply prejudice against things I don't know, it seems just so silly. I remember this one thing before we started to talk about the eyesight, which I wanted to share with you. I just can't remember what it was now. So there is no recipe to life. I mean, what one experience can't be duplicated. But I believe that if you live your life as God created us, and we evolved in evolution, you will have a happy life. And that means creating memories, good memories. And that's like not go for prejudice, not go for violence, and yeah. So I still can't remember. I can't put this on pause. So I'm gonna try to remember. So those of you who wanna bear with me, you'll have to bear with me. Couldn't remember what I was thinking of, but I thought of two things. First is sleep, and the next one is Oh, let's start with sleep. I seem to have trouble remembering things. See, when we sleep, we feel relaxed. And when we sleep, electricity goes freely through the brain. And we dream. And I consider dreams like connection the brain puts together. We can work through the dreams. Like, these are like, I think, things that help us live life. It's like connections which the brain thinks we should make. I just I can't understand why I can't understand why I can't remember this. So I'm gonna keep going until at least I'm satisfied not remembering it. Because I want to share this with you guys. This has brought me so much happiness in life, through my life, that I really hope it helps you guys pursuing happiness. And the biggest mistake a criminal makes is hurting other people. Because life is big. And sins will haunt you. No matter who you are and how old you are. That's just karmic law. Or nature law, as I say it. So be nice. Be nice to you, to all living things. Because as we grow older, the biggest regrets are not being nice and not taking chances. See, you'll never know if it's a good thing. You never know when you grow old if if it is if it would have succeeded, if you would have taken a chance. So after carefully thinking it through, try to live your life to the fullest. You only get one chance. And learn how to love. The way I do it is when I get to the end of my capability to love, I seek advice and I seek love somewhere else. And I try to fill my life with a lot of love. So we went through the brain and how to have a healthy life by constructing happy memories or healthy memories. We went through how to have an open mind, like not fill it with violence and prejudice. See, on the way to paradise, we all are gonna face that wall that we don't live in paradise. There is a lot of suffering in the world. And it's like having a broken arm and you can't fix it. You're gonna be disabled. And that is the saddest thing in my prime to think of, is I know that even though I try my best, that I probably won't experience paradise. I will never enter the gates of paradise. So I'm subject to the world. And like having a broken arm you can't fix, it's like so sad. So I'm gonna keep building. Actually gonna post a video on YouTube in the future how I foresee paradise. And I'm gonna keep building because I trust in man and I trust in God. And I hope one day we will all enter the gates of paradise, where we can truly our entire life live happy among each other and experience the full capability of life and what love and joy can bring us. So I mean, so we're gonna make a video. I'm gonna make a video about paradise, and I'm gonna make a video about I keep forgetting. That's like the third time in this video I just can't remember what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye because I'm happy not remembering now. I just go through life and you always remember good things. So I'm not afraid of forgetting. So I'm gonna do this one more video. I'm gonna remember what it was because I was gonna do paradise later. And I hope that you liked it. And I wish you would subscribe and comment. And love.